Greetings, everyone.
Greetings.
And welcome to Miracle Center for Spiritual Living. We are located right here at 2653 South Taylor Road, Cleveland Heights, Ohio. Welcome, one and all. I am Linda Jones, your pulpit assistant. I greet you in love, peace, and joy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And now we'll prepare for our invocation, please. If you'll close your eyes, become still, quiet, and go within and commune with Spirit. Divine Creator, with whom we are one, we invoke your very presence in today's service. We recognize and honor your infinite presence, that divine presence that's flowing in each and every one of us. We know that divine presence, individually we are divinely loved, we are divine expressions of love. And because we are open at the top, as we receive today's message, we know, without a doubt, that we are going to be blessed by it. Not only will we be blessed by it, but we'll be inspired, uplifted, empowered, all of those great things. And that our divine consciousness will become even more illumined and expanded. We know that the words spoken here in today's message are done so with love. They speak the truth and wisdom. So I just bless everybody that's here present in the sanctuary, on Zoom, and on the phone. I bless and give thanks for all today's participants in today's service. So now I decree this service to be in divine order. And since you are in agreement with me, please join me in saying, and so it is. Amen, amen, amen. Thank you. November 17th, 2024. Order of service, our monthly theme, a bun dance. Interesting title. Our monthly theme summary, who likes a fresh, hot bun? Gluten, gluten-free, butter, dairy-free, however you want it. Or think about a recent potluck you've attended. People coming together to share their abundance, where all are welcome. This month, we'll be exploring how rising up in our abundance consciousness blesses our lives and the lives of those around us. Science of Mind point of view. Dr. Holmes stated, Jesus was not the great exception. He was a great example. And he even said that greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father. And that's from the Philosophy of Jesus, page 4. When we let go of thoughts of lack and limitation of our humanness, only looking at life from the minimal perspective of the conditions, only 5 loaves and 2 fishes, we can shift and move to the place within where I and the Father are one. We rise in consciousness and commune with our true nature of infinite potential. And now, the impossible is now I'm possible. And miracles unfold in every area of our lives. Even greater works can each of us do when we believe it is possible, and it is. Many of you have heard the Bible story about the miracle of the loaves and fishes. To recap, Jesus used 5 loaves and 2 fish supplied by a boy to feed a multitude. Jesus took the loaves and fish, gave thanks, and broke them. Then the humanly impossible became divinely possible. 5 loaves and 2 fish fed thousands, with 12 baskets of leftovers, even snacks for the trip home. Before even asking, Jesus trusted and knew that he had access to the infinite abundance of spirit that we all do. God is our source and supply. He knew that God could do anything and that the infinite power of the Spirit could easily feed the multitudes. When we have this knowledge in our own lives, through profoundly communing with the divine presence, then indeed, all things are possible. And so it is. And now we'll have a song, I'm Looking for a Miracle. I'm looking for a miracle, and I'm sure you all are too. And now we have our very own Reverend June bringing us today's message, the loaves and fishes. Reverend June.
Morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you, Linda. Bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris, for doing what we do together, and Jerry with the sound, and me here at home. And pretty soon I'm going to be right there in the sanctuary. And I'm going to surprise you one of these Sundays, and I will be there. It's a song. I will be there. So this morning, I'm glad that by the time I was getting ready to get up and get here with you all and be with you all, that it's bright and clear and almost kind of sort of really sunny, because today we've got to allow ourselves to just let go, have a little fun here. And if Chris and I can get together on bringing forth what my idea is about what I want to do with the music and the words and the understanding of what's going on this morning, we're going to have a good time. But we're going to have a good time whether it works out or not, but we're going to try it. So here we go. Today's message is based on the loaves and fishes, and again on abundance as we move toward the blessed end, the blessing that we have of paying off our wonderful mortgage that we have on our beautiful building. So all of these lessons of these next few weeks are just a culmination of what we started. And I'm hoping this will be conveyed to you through the music that I'm bringing to this morning. And I'm looking for a miracle, to me, is the beginning of 7 years ago. In fact, it's the beginning of 18 years ago? It seems impossible. 17 years ago, that Reverend Leora and I came to Miracle Center. And one of the first things that we were told was not that we're looking for a miracle, but that we're looking for a building. And here we are in the midst of the miracle. And for 7 years, we've been in the midst of the miracle. So we've been looking and looking. So at the end of the service, the song is going to be significant. So let's get this all started and all put together, and it's working, it's working, it's working. So during this season of harvest and Thanksgiving, we explore having the faith of God to move beyond and sense any sense of limitation into a consciousness of plenty. We're losing the thought about any limitation at all, into a consciousness of plenty. as in the example of Jesus feeding the multitude with only 5 loaves and 2 fishes, which most of us learned years and years ago, we can each know that God is our source and supply. With childlike faith and deep thanksgiving, we can have a grand arising, and that's been our theme for all of this year, our grand arising, knowing miracles happen in our lives and celebrate with a fun dance. Now, here's where I went off the beam. Fun dance. I saw that at the beginning of the month. Fun dance being used in the theme, being used as a reference. I honestly had no idea what a bun dance is. No idea at all. But I used it. I used the 2 words. I heard Teresa refer to it. And then I decided I did not know what bun dance is. Why am I talking about it? Why am I using it? Didn't make sense all of a sudden. So I'm not sure about you. I have to be honest. I'm not sure about you, but I didn't know what it meant. So here we go. I did some research, and here's what I discovered. Now, this is where communication between Chris and I, and you being patient enough to let us work this out, how this works. So, Chris, if you would start the first video about bun dance, I would appreciate it. Did everybody absorb that?
Yes.
If not, we will set up sessions that will allow us to learn the bun dance. So now we're going to proceed to the second song, which maybe some of you have in your volume of music, and if not, it's easily accessible. And Chris, would you play the second one and listen for my voice? And if it's too long, we'll stop it. But this is another set that we can have. We can have 2 sets of how to do the bun dance. The first one we saw, and now the second one. So pay attention. We need to learn these. Okay, go ahead, Chris. Okay. Gonna ask a question. Those of us on Zoom, raise your hand. Those of you in the sanctuary, you'll be able to see each other. Raise your hand if you are willing to join me in a class to learn the bun dance. Okay, I got a few, got a couple. I don't know about the sanctuary, but I only got 3. Carolyn and Laverne and I are willing. That's all right. That's okay. Okay, Charles, thank you. Charles Yeager joins us. Thank you very much. Okay, we can go back to being a little more serious now. Now we know what a bun dance is. Actually, it is a vernacular, it is an expression that was started with the reggae music. And it's a kind of a slander, how we do, we change words, and it's, what it means is kick it up. Kick it up every time, make it better, make it crazier, make it bigger, make it rise. So what the bun dance for is a bun dance. Spell it. A-B-U-N-D-A-N-C-E. So now you get the tie between the reality of science of mind, being a science, being investigative, being curious, expanding, doing a bun dance into the allowance of our own spiritual growth. So whoever named this month and wanted to educate us about abundance, I appreciate them expanding my awareness of abundance and what we are doing with the words abundance. So as we continue toward the abundance of Miracle Center for Spiritual Living and the paying off of our message, if you don't necessarily want to learn the abundance, we have at least exposed it into our consciousness, so there it lies. And as we move forward with a abundance of life and an abundance of security, knowing that we are paying off our mortgage. So that was just a little fun research for me, and I hope you were enlightened. And if you like Bruno Mars, you can get his music and you can have it at home and you can practice the bun dance. So I'm going to get serious and move ahead with today's lesson. And it's all about abundance in whatever way it appeals to you and in your life. Obviously, for me, I'm looking for an abundance of my consciousness of health and wealth and standing on 2 legs, 2 feet, and being able to wave the 2 arms and even move forward to come to church, let alone learn abundance. But maybe I still will learn abundance throughout all of this. So what happens is, if we look at our bulletin, what if it was possible to have the faith of God? And there's another 3-word set with this saying, the faith in God, the faith of God. There's a difference. Having the faith in God is wonderful, it's superb, it's what we ought to be, who we are. We're blessed, and we use the faith in God. But what if we, every once in a while, turn those 3 words and added and subtracted, and we have the faith of God? We have the faith of the boy who was willing to offer his fishes and his loaves to this Christ consciousness, to this image, to this man, to this beingness, to this Jesus the Christ, to make the offer in the faith that he had, that this person, I just called Jesus God, this person, the Son of God, his loaves and his fishes, and have the faith of God to know that something divine was going to happen. So when you're feeling a little collapsed, I'll just say, maybe using these 3 words, I have the faith of God, and then know that I can say, I have the faith in God, I am the faith of God. So as we move through that, and I'll continue to read this sentence, I'll read it again for clarity. What if it was possible to have the faith of God and rise from living a life of lack and limitation to a life of abundance? We can do that every moment of our lives. Through trust, faith, and thanksgiving, all is abundantly provided to you. It is provided to you because it is what and who we are. It's within us. It is who we are. When we learn to trust the universe, We shall be happy, prosperous, and well. We must learn to come under that divine government and accept that nature's table is ever filled. What is it that you ask for that you never get? Actually, there is nothing that you ask for that you never get, because the time that we consider time that we want things is probably, I want it now, and now means before even now even starts. So in God's time, with God's desire within us, we get every single thing we need. We also get everything we want, because who's in charge? Who is our mind? Who is our heart? Who is our judgment? God expressing is it all. So we do. We get everything we need, everything we want. And sometimes it does not appear to be so, but it is the truth. Never was there a cosmic famine. And that's from Ernest Holmes' Science of Mind, page 32, point 2, paragraph 2 to page 33. So this morning, I'm going to go through that lesson on page 32 and page 33. And we're going to align in our minds and look at what we think and look at what we say and just re-examine just a little bit the thought patterns that we have, and looking at and thinking about the abundance of how our life unfolds. On this Sunday, take these words with us. Once we read them, once we put them in our mind, they are a part of who we are. Learning to trust will make us happy. And if you have your textbook, again, it's page 32. It starts in the middle and we'll go through 33. All men seek some relationship to the universal mind, the oversoul, or the eternal spirit. And you say, oh my goodness, she said 3 different things there. She said universal mind. She said the oversoul. She said eternal spirit. I thought there was only one thing going on, and that was God. These are just expressions of written by Ernest Holmes that came up in his heart. A way to say God, Jesus, Almighty. Some of the foreign languages you might read, there's the sound, the symbol that is eternal that we recognize through Buddhism. There's many ways to say God. And this is just 3 of them. So universal mind, oversoul, or the eternal spirit, which we call God, is God. And life reveals itself to whoever is receptive to it. Sometimes we think, I know about God. I'm a religious scientist, and I know some people that really don't know about God. They don't do anything. They don't read anything. They really don't pursue God the way I do. That's pretty much arrogant, because how one pursues God, obviously we cannot see. We cannot even fathom, because we cannot read their heart. We cannot read their displeasures. We cannot read what is solved in their life, who they love, who they don't love, which everybody should love everything and everyone, but we just can't judge. So as we move through this, think about abundance in your own life. Think about what you're focusing on in your own life. That we are having in a spiritual universe, which includes the material or physical universe. has been a conclusion of the deepest thinkers of every age. That this spiritual universe must be of pure intelligence. Another word for God, pure intelligence and perfect life. Either the combination of the two, perfect is God, life is God. Dominated by love. And you know how I love the word love. And we all are love, and we focus ourselves in love. We behave in love. By reason, another name for God, and by the power to create seems an inevitable conclusion. An inevitable conclusion. So if we are thinking as God, if we are one as God, there really isn't very much for us to do except to exist, except to be conscious every moment that we are God expressing. And it doesn't take work, and it doesn't take really picking up a book or listening to the Science of Mind every day. Actually, it just takes being in the sense of knowing that you are perfect, divine, complete, whole, love, whatever word you want to say it. I am healthy. I am loving. I am understanding. I am prosperous. Whatever I am, that I am. And from my T-shirt that the niece Neil got for me from the Neil Diamond concert, and took the trouble to get me the T-shirt that says, I am, I said. One of my favorite songs, I am. Just that affirmation puts you in good stead with being know that you are powerful, that the spiritual universe must be of pure intelligence and perfect life, dominated by one pure intelligence and perfect life, dominated by love, by reason, and by the power to create, seems an inevitable conclusion. You'll have to excuse me reading something again because I'm trying to focus on my book and be clear to you. So in this adjustment of time and space and holding the book and reading, bless me, and we'll just move on here. We're starting in the book again. There is a power in the universe that honors our faith in it. Honors our faith in it. So therefore, we must have faith in ourselves. There is a law in the universe which exacts the uttermost farthing, and I do believe that's a little bit of English language there, to the lowest penny, to the lowest cent, that enacts from us all that we are, all that we will be, all that we have been, and that is pure intelligence and a perfect life. There is a power in the universe that honors our faith in it. There is a law in the universe which exacts all that we can give. We all wish to find that the power behind everything is good. I do hope so. I hope that this is our truth, as well as our creative energies, and eternal and changeless intelligence. How often do you think how intelligent I am? How often do you pleasure yourself with, I live in love. I express as love. I am love. I am healthy. I am whole. I am complete. There is no pain in thought, no pain in the words I speak. I am a living example of knowing and being the essence and the truth of God. We all wish to feel that power behind everything is good as well as creative, an eternal and changeless intelligence in which man lives and moves and has his or her being. Intuitively, we sense that every man in his native state is some part of magnificence. Every man, not picking out those that we think have issues that maybe we don't adhere to, or maybe issues that we don't believe. It's okay. We've all got a say in this universal allness. And as long as we can be loving and in our manifestation of the intelligent native state, we are some part of this magnificence. There is an eternal principle, and that the entire problem of limitation, evil, suffering, and uncertainty is not God ordained. So if you have any of these thoughts in your thought pattern, get rid of them. Get rid of them. Just burn them up or on a piece of paper, or just decide within your mind when they come up that you bat them away, or that you just never focus on them, and they won't be there. They won't exist as part of your universal givingness. Everything is God ordained. So the other side of the argument is those things do not exist, so we should not have anything that is negative. We really should not. We can't let it in. We truly look at it thoroughly. We can't have it. And I say we can't let it in, and then I'm contradicting myself, because we can't have it because it doesn't exist. If God is all there is only joy and power and love and peace and harmony in everything that we think, say, and do. And with this next week coming up, this Thanksgiving, what do? We look for things in our life that we give thankfulness for. It ought to be every single thing that has happened to us, to that point, to that breathing point. Because none of what has happened to us or with us or through us can be anything except the divine expression of God. And if we look at it in any negativity, we are wrong. We are incorrect. We are not being the Christness, the Christ one that we are. That's not in the book, but it's a thought pattern that just came through my mind. So you're having trouble wondering what's wrong with what's going on in your life, in my life. Sit down and truly look at yourself. Truly look at yourself, honestly. Ask the hard questions. And if you are experience God as yourself, as your beingness, the only answers that you will come up with will be positive. If they are not, they don't exist. And if they exist for you, you need to do something about them. So I'm learning lessons all the time. Just as simple as it was to get on this computer and look up what does the essence of the abundance mean. See, the essence and the truth of abundance is right there waiting for us to learn its true meaning. It's abundance. Let yourself rise. Let yourself get larger. Let yourself be happier. Live in harmony. And I'm just going to express a personal note of thank you to Juliet. I hope she's in service or on service. Yesterday, Laverne brought me a picture that is a Chinese or Japanese language, and I'm looking at it across the room, and it is a symbol in the written form, and underneath it says harmony. And I didn't pick it up when I picked up the other things to bring from the church here to my home. And the Laverne brought me this image to my house yesterday. And I've got harmony in my house. I've got harmony, the word harmony and the symbol harmony in my house. Yes, yes, yes. I see you clapping, Laverne. It's here, and I know it's here. And it has raised my consciousness already. So whatever floats your boat or rows your boat that makes you get a bun feeling in your life about your life, find it, think it, display it. Say it over and over again to yourself as an affirmation. And when crap comes up that's not real, think harmony, think abundant dance. Just we glow, we glow, we glow, and we continue, as I read here, to know the truth about ourselves. It has been written that the truth shall make us free. We always look for something free. Always, I would say the majority of it. Make us free, provided we know the truth. So if we're living the truth of God, if we're living science of mind, if we're living Buddhism, we're living Judaism, if we're living any faith in God, we know that we're in joy, we're in peace, our lives are moving forward. So eternal principle, and that the entire problem of limitation, evil, suffering, and uncertainty is not our God ordained life, but is the result of ignorance. I'm ignorant in many, many aspects of life. I can't play the piano. I'm ignorant in that area of life. I can't paint. Well, I shouldn't say I can't paint something that's recognizable because people get millions of dollars for that. So I'll throw that thought out. But just consider when you think through what I don't have, what I can't do is only a fantasy, is only a time certain that at some point I'm going to go beyond what I know now, which is a blessing. I'm going to learn more. I'm going to be more. And that's an exciting way to look at your life. I am that I am, and I'm going to be so much more because I'm going to abundance. I'm going to look toward abundance instead of ignorance or instead of shortcomings or, in a sense, ignorance. But I'm going to emphasizing others. What do we have? What nickel in the dime do we have about what somebody else does? And turn it around. What nickel in my dime does somebody else have to think or care? Wrong word. To think into what I have in their own assumptions. They're mine. Yours are yours. And we're all God expressing in this wonderful universe, blessed universe. We know exactly what we're doing, and we're doing what we're doing because we are smart, because we are divine, because we are intelligent, because we are beautiful, we are handsome. And I know I'm not in the book, but all this is coming up through me right this minute. And I hope that this kind of thought pattern, which God has decided it's my time to be quiet not to watch TV, not to be so judgmental about politics, not to be so, oh, ain't it awful? There is no awful. There is only joy. There is only givingness and love and acceptance of the new and the possible. And I've gotten about 3/4 of the first couple paragraphs that I was going to read and focus on. And here I go. Telling me my heart's desires at this moment. And I hope what happens is, as my heart opens to you, that you can, after these few minutes that we share together on this day, that the bun dance in you just takes a little more, what is it, baking soda in your recipe of yourself, because it makes you rise. I remember the yeast that your mom probably did, like my mom would do, when it was, you break it up, the little square, and you put it in that bread, the flour and all that mixture. And then you put that yeast in there. It has that weird smell. And then you fold it into that, all that mixture of the flour and all that. And then you put it on the cupboard overnight, and your house smells like yeast and rising bread. And then the next morning she takes it and she snips off a piece. She shapes it into a roll, takes it into a bun, shapes it into a bun, and she puts it in that pan. And there's a dozen of them, those little buns, and they're sitting in that pan. And all of a sudden she puts a towel across them. And this is for a couple of hours or overnight. And then in the morning, you wake up and you peek under the towel, if you were like me and Lior, and you peek under there, and the bun dance happened. And that all that mixture rises up, and then it goes into the oven with butter on it. And then there's a different smell, and there's a different you, and there's a different knowing of the future, because you know you're going to eat that bun with butter on it. And it's good. It's all good, and it's all God. And I know sounds silly ramblings, but isn't your life simple? Isn't your life beautiful? Isn't your life abundance? And for the first time this week, speaking about abundance, I know what I'm talking about. I really know what I'm talking about. I hope you know what I'm trying to say. I hope you know that the Abundance of Miracle Center's financial picture is going to be the truth that it is. And it's going to pay off our mortgage. And then you know what? We got work to do. WORK. We got joy to do, which is work. We got stuff to do. We got to raise more money. We got a hole on the side of our building. We got painting to do in our building. We got people to love and encourage to come to us because of who we are. Stuff to do. We got to have our bun rise. Our abundance as far as money. Our abundance as far as getting more people into our sanctuary or on our Zoom that will bring forth what we have learned in our hearts through being here together 1 hour, sometimes a little over, not usually any less, but at least an hour of praising God, of love and joy. And we have new people come on our Zoom. I see some things, names that I didn't recognize before. I see telephone numbers I may not recognize, but we're here together. And we're doing the bun dance, not with the kicks and the legs and all that, but we're doing the bun dance. We're growing and we're expanding and we're loving, and our prosperity is growing every single moment. And I give thanksgiving. I give thanksgiving for taking my head up off the book, for listening from my heart, which is down over here, and the message which sings through my body and it comes out of my mouth. And I hope you hear my song. I hope you feel my love. And I hope your heart is beating a little faster. And as the Grinch says at Christmas, and you see that his heart goes boom, 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 his heart opens. And I hope your heart is opening like my heart is opening this morning, because I'm feeling better. I'm getting better. I'm walking better. And now I'm into my personal stuff. But my surgery leg is excellent, doing just beautifully. Another issue with my right leg, which is also beautiful because it's getting better. As it gets better, it puts me closer and closer to being in front of you, in front of that beautiful tabernacle that we have as our Miracle Center for Spiritual Living, which started with a bun dance. I'm reverting back to the bun dance. It started as a visioning done before I got to that church, before Reverend Leora came to that church, before some of you came to that church, that did not realize that there was a group of people that were visioning for a church home. Our vision has been fulfilled. We have the faith of God. It's fulfilled. Now let's keep massaging our bun. Let's keep adding a little yeast. Let's keep adding a little love, a lot of harmony, a lot of joy, a lot of financial supply, all to that bun that we have rising. All to that fund that we have rising, which is Miracle Center for Spiritual Living. And I'm going to stick to time. I'm going to close this book because I remind you that I was going to read from page 32, starting with learning to trust will make us happy, over to page 33 to the end of that lesson. I'm going to close this book, I'm going to set it aside, and I'm going to ask Chris to play our last song. And the first song was I'm Looking for a Miracle. So this is our second song in closing. In this simple closure, in this science of mind treatment, come from your heart to your understanding in your mind. Bring your miracle forward. I pray for all of those in our congregation and beyond, in our families. We all are a miracle. We have some of our folks who are still having health issues. We know who each of us is, and pray for those who you don't know. If you don't know who it is, just pray and know that our congregation and those in our families are blessed with the pureness and the essence of truth, the essence of God, the essence of who we are. And knowing that this is our truth, I know this simple prayer touches each and everyone's life, and especially our next couple months as we move forward in abundance of Miracle Center for Spiritual Living. And I allow these words to unfold in our hearts as our next miracle. And together we say, and so it is. So Linda, if you would come back and continue your wonderful service for us, I'd appreciate it.
Let's give Reverend June a hand. Thank you so much, Reverend June, for that beautiful message. We thank you so much. And now as the ushers come forth, we will do our benediction. If you'll close your eyes, become still and quiet. and go within. Father, Mother God, we give thanks for today's service. Our message brought to us by Reverend June Clark. And we know we have been blessed by this message, by the words that she so eloquently spoke. It has blessed us, empowered us, and given us a lot to think about as we go about our daily lives. So let us just go forth with an attitude of gratitude. With an attitude of gratitude. And as we go forth, let us live our lives with abundance. Let us live our lives with abundance. And if you are in agreement with me, please join me in saying, and so it is, amen, amen, amen. Thank you. Oh, we have some visitors. Would you please stand and give us your name and where you're from, please? Okay, thank you for being here. Thank you so much. Please come again. Thank you. Yeah, and where you're from? Okay, thank you, Sylvia, for being here. Come again, please. Thank you. Our announcements, practitioners are available for personal prayer and assistance after service on Sunday mornings. Prayer request forms are on the backs of your chairs here in the sanctuary. You may also email your request to friend10_10@att.net. And your prayer requests will be held in confidential. Let's remember our members and friends in prayer. Those that may be having health challenges, let's remember them and hold them up in prayer. A cookbook reminder. Don't forget to get your cookbooks while there are still some left. They are going fast. They're just going like hotcakes. Also, a reminder, next Sunday is a special end of the month contributions, which we so greatly appreciate you all for donating to that cause. I believe that's it. This concludes our service. So if you'll please circle up for the peace song, and thank you everyone for coming. God bless you all.